I have an intermodal trucking company. Doesn't really sell X to Y. An intermodal trucking company, 18 locations around the country. We do bad year 36, good year 50 million in revenue. We'd like to double that, be it that 70 to 100.
$50 million trucking company, and they can't grow. Alex Hormozi uncovers the real bottleneck, and it's not what you think. Welcome back to Daily Revenue Report, and in this explosive breakdown, Alex Hormozi reveals why some businesses aren't demand constrained, but supply constrained. How failing to recruit talent is silently capping your growth, and the genius strategy that could instantly unlock scale using massive referral incentives and paid acquisition. If you're trying to scale past a plateau, hire faster, and dominate your market, this is a must-watch. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button because we drop videos like this every single day.
What's stopping me is our inability to get leads for new independent contractors. We have a owner-operator based model. We don't own anything.
Okay.
We seem to be trading freight. So when we get, instead of being able to take more business, we just because we don't have the capacity to do it with our because we can't get new owner-operators, more owner-operators.
You mean drivers, right?
Trucks.
Yeah.
Drivers with trucks.
Yeah.
Independent contractors.
Okay.
They lease exclusively to us. We take care of their insurance. They can't use our truck for anything.
And then you sell their loads.
Yeah, basically, and
Okay.
we just fill their lanes, right?
Yeah.
Just can't seem to. Our pipeline of candidates replace our turnover, and not much more.
Got it.
So there's plenty of business out there. We don't have a problem with that. Our customers don't leave. We can either take more from them or
You're
take less
supply
from them.
constrained, not demand constrained.
Yes, exactly. And we just can't seem to, although we do no marketing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot in these in the roundtables. That's what's stopping us.
This guy has so much business, he doesn't need to do any marketing, and he does between $36 and $50 million a year in revenue. I mean, that sounds like a beautiful business. Until you hit the supply side of things and you realize the constraint. He can't get enough independent contractors. These are guys who buy their own trucks, and then they come and they get their lanes filled, they get their jobs from people like this right here. Now, this is going to happen whether it's customers on the demand side or whether it's hiring on the supply side. If you say you get 100 customers a month, and it's a recurring revenue model, but every month 5 customers drop off. Now, that's not terrible, right? But what happens when you have 10,000 customers and 500 are dropping off every month and you're still only getting 100 a month? That's when things get tricky because you can't outpace what you're dropping. Obviously, the 1 to 500 was a huge comparison, but it happens slowly, and then it gets to the point where if you're only getting 100 customers a day, but you're also dropping, or a month, and you're also dropping 100 customers a month, you're no longer growing even though you are acquiring 100 customers a month.
Cool. So this is a really cool one. We were talking yesterday, right? So there are some businesses that are demand constrained. Other businesses are supply constrained. And so trying to sell marketing services to a supply constrained business, they're like, I don't have an issue getting customers. Right. So it's like if I go to you and say, hey man, I can get you people who want to move stuff, you're like, I'm good, I'm fine. That's not my problem.
Plenty of freight.
Right.
We say no more than we say yes.
Right. So she said. Anyways, so on the supply side, right? So I would think about it as like I made a podcast or something a while ago about like what business are you really in, right? And so like a friend of mine had a cleaning business, like Molly Maid style business, and he came from the fitness world, and so he was like, dude, it's so easy to get customers, like getting people to just clean, people who want other people to clean their houses. Like, yeah, I can believe that. It's not hard to sell. The problem is getting people to show up on time and speak English, who are willing to work really hard and like all of that, right? And so what we basically shifted with him was, you're actually not in the cleaning business. You're in the recruiting cleaners business. And so I think it's the same thing with you, that and you probably to some degree already know that, right? Like you're in the recruiting independent contractors business. And so the current way that you're attracting independent contractors, that is your pipeline that you were reference, is via what?
Amazingly enough, most independent contractors are still using Craigslist.
Okay.
That's the number one area. Indeed, they have post on, and that's in referrals. Referrals are probably our second highest.
Okay.
So in these types of businesses that are supply constraint, the value of the entrepreneur. The reason the entrepreneur can come in and make so much money is because the hard part in these businesses is recruiting, hiring, and maintaining a fleet of people that can get the job done. That's where the entrepreneur comes in and creates value.
Application rate.
What do you make on a truck per annum in terms of gross profit?
It's about 185 to about 185,000 gross.
That's what
gross
you make.
revenue.
Okay.
We make about gross. We make 70,000.
Okay, so you make 70,000 for a driver, right? So what are you willing to pay to get a driver?
That's something we haven't really even looked at.
So if
I would pay
Yeah.
up as much as I had to pay, obviously under that number. I mean,
Yeah, and this is why I go there. So then you get into payback period. So there's cost to acquire customers, CAC. There's also cost to acquire talent, which is CAC, like that. And so the idea is, there was a friend of mine who had an insurance company who was probably actually about the same size as you right now. And he was stuck there for a while, and he was like, I need more brokers. I need more agents, right, who are going to come in and sell insurance. And so what he realized after a few years of kind of like slowish growth is that every agent that was productive made him $250,000 a year in gross profit. And so he was giving referral bonuses to his agents for $2,000 to get people to come. And sometimes they'd refer people, whatever. But when he realized that he was making $250,000, he started paying $25,000 checks to the agents for bringing someone on and getting them productive within 90 days. And so that was the thing that completely changed his business. And so if you make $70,000 a year on a trucker, I would wonder if you could give a referral bonus that's like a $35,000 referral bonus, and then you can pay it back.
Yeah, we do 5. We've never. It'd be obviously that 35 numbers, and it makes sense. But
you do it after they're productive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I'll give you 35. You can give 5 today, 30 when they're productive, and just give the back half on the 6 month, which then gives you an internal champion for them because they're going to want to make sure that they stick 6 months because they're going to get there.
When you think about it, it's really the same problem, whether it's supply constraint or demand constraint. It's just a different funnel. On the demand side, if I don't have enough customers, I just need to figure out how to build a funnel that takes people at the top, converts them down at the bottom, and fill that funnel. Now it's a different process, but when it goes to hiring, it's literally the same thing. I need to build a funnel that gets people at the top, drops them through the funnel, converts them into an employee or an independent contractor, and then I just need to figure out how to economically scale this thing so I can get a certain amount of people in the top for a certain price. And by the time they hit the bottom, they don't cost more than what I'll make off of them over the next year or two.
100%. We get the kickback of, well, if they're on here, then the freight, we're not going to have as much freight, by
But then
growing. We just have to educate them that that's not a problem.
Yeah. You could also just say, and if you refer, you get first dibs. Yeah. It's not an issue, but in terms of quelling the concern,
right.
Just say so anybody who refers gets cash and you get best routes or best, the language better than me.
Yeah.
So that would probably be that would be my first thing that I can do shooting from the hip with no more context. But from an acquisition channel perspective, I do think this is something that paid ads would work for, and basically building a funnel for this. So we had a different business in the portfolio that we exited. But we basically had to attract independent contractors, same thing. We kind of semi-operator models, but it's for brick and mortar. And the big constraint of the business was that we had all the cash, we had all the demand, we just needed people to actually do the thing, right? And so we basically built a cold traffic funnel to attract operators, and it worked famously. And so we just had them jump through a bunch of hoops, and we just had to figure out how much friction to put in there. And then we were able to basically on demand be like, okay, well, we want to open up X locations, and then we just fill it up. And we just knew how we'd get 10% of them to stick.
And we talked about that in the roundtable because we're doing nothing.
Yeah.
So something's going to help, right?
Something is better than nothing, for sure.
Being able to do Facebook with a targeted, because the luxury that we have is that they're either going to a port or to a rail, so we know where they are every day at some point.
Yeah.
So being able to do that, so we're going to start that immediately.
I would just spiff up the hell out of the referral thing as that. You could do that tomorrow, and then the priority plus the referral, so be paired to quell their concern. And then I would start running ads to this very simple application funnel with a mini VSL, like 3 to 5 minute of like, hey, here's the opportunity. This is what we do. This is what other people can't help you with. This is what we can. We'll cover your insurance, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We have more demand than we can handle.
Got it. Thanks.
No, you bet.
So if you're trying to scale but can't find the people to grow, you're not stuck, you're solving the wrong problem. And that's exactly what Alex Hormozi is breaking down here. So we cover real strategies, real bottlenecks, and what actually unlocks growth every single day. We drop brand new videos. So hit that like and smash the subscribe button.